if you had any kind of industry in America that failed as baldly and nakedly and obviously as American higher education has, if any other industry like that performed that way, it would collapse. So I was thinking, well, what keeps it going? And of course, the answer is people like me.
Hi, I'm Nick Gillespie for Reason TV, and today I'm talking to Andrew Ferguson, author of Crazy You, One Dad's Crash Course in Getting His Son into College, and Gillam Ferguson, the actual son. So Andy, Gillam, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Andy, this is a crash course about going to college. Your son is now a sophomore at University of Virginia. What struck you as the biggest change since you applied for college?
The money, because everything seems to turn on money. You mentioned I spent some time with this private college counselor who charges $40,000 in this sort of soup to nuts thing of getting your kid from freshman year in high school into the school of his or her choice over 4 years. And there were parents willing to pay it. That's what I couldn't believe. On top of that, then the schools themselves are so rich.
You went to Occidental College during what?
In the mid-'70s.
Okay, so Occidental College, which is most famous for President Obama leaving there for a better school. Did you take going to college that seriously?
No, my thought was, I grew up in Chicago, and I thought, what's the farthest away I can get from Chicago and remain in the contiguous United States? And then I heard a Beach Boys song, and I was a goner.
Gillam, when did you start thinking about college seriously?
About 2 weeks before the applications were due.
Okay.
He's not lying.
Of course, my father was planning all these trips and, bugging me about my essays. I couldn't walk to the bathroom without asked if I had started. Of course, I hadn't.
If you want to know what he was like during the process, imagine that last scene in Titanic with those bodies lying face down. That was my boy, right?
And him pointing at the computer.
Yeah.
What's the function of college for parents?
Well, prestige, status. In fact, it is. Parents are the linchpin of this thing. I was thinking about it the other day. If you had any kind of industry in America that failed as baldly and nakedly and obviously as American higher education has, in which it costs too much money, the kids don't learn anything.
Kids don't graduate. I mean, it's like 6-year graduation rates of most good schools are at or below 50%.
And the people have to go heavily into debt to get through it. If any other industry like that performed that way, it would collapse. I mean, we're seeing it in the American automobile industry. So I was thinking, well, what keeps it going? And of course, the answer is people like me, right? People who are willing to put up with all this insanity, total irrationality to it, and pay whatever they have to.
College really only became a mass phenomenon in the 70s.
Right.
So is it that we have professionalized parents as well as professionalized students?
Yes. Well, the professionalization of childhood, I mean, it's not my discovery, but they have things now. This is all stuff that absolutely new and that he was immune from mostly, which is they have things called brag sheets, which parents start compiling when the kids are in 7th and 8th grade, and it's, they put together, they compile videos of their athletic performances, tapes of their musical recitals, and they put them all together so the kids got a resume. In fact, sometimes they even call it a resume.
What do you hope to get out of college?
Mainly just a group of people that I can call my friends for the rest of my life that I'll be close to. Obviously, the education, I guess, too, is what my dad would say. But then,
I wouldn't.
If that can put me in a good position to get a job and a good family in the future, then I think that's all that I would do.
You sound like a girl going to college in the 50s. You're looking for an MR degree, huh? A family and friends?
Well, my objective is to be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah. Okay, well, a lot of that's opening up. The connection between where you go to college and where you end up in life is a lot looser than we're generally led to believe.
There's almost no correlation, actually. I mean, it's been studied, out your ear about there's professional happiness, income level, divorce rates, family togetherness and breakup, all of that stuff. It has no relationship to where you went to school. I guess in income levels, it might, at the very top of schools, Ivy Leaguers, I think, tend to make more money. But beyond that, in the great mass of schools, it's it's immaterial.
So what do you hope he gets out of it?
A lot of debt, burdened with debt, so it'll build his character as he goes through life. And well, you know, I want a slow nurturing of the spirit, and I'm not. And now I'm not being. I mean, I want him to, and we talk about this quite often. I'm sort of like a Matthew Arnold devotee. I mean, I want him to familiarize himself with the best that's been thought and said, and understand Western civilization and the roots of it and where it comes from, and that ain't going to happen.
And what happened to it?
Yeah, what happened to it?
A final question, Gillam. Will you debase and humiliate your children by writing a book about their college hunt experience, or will you come up with a completely new way to debase and humiliate you?
Well, I don't know. Everything. I don't think I could come up with a new way because he's done just about all of them.
Andy, what's your next project? You've got other
yeah.
kids, right? So you've got other kids. Are you?
Oh yeah. Well,
the next one's being raised
my
in
major
ESC
product in
or
life, my
CSC?
daughter, is going through the process right now. We're in that terrible limbo where she's got the applications in, but we're waiting to hear from it. You know, they have to tell you by April 1st. So it's kind of, I'm nervous again.
Well, Gillam Ferguson, Andrew Ferguson, author of Crazy You, One Dad's. Finish the subtitle for me.
One Dad's Crash Course on getting his kid into college. I think I got the prepositions right.
It's out now. It's doing well. Thanks very much for talking with me.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
I'm Nick Gillespie.